STPL.
Damn it. Oh, it's working now. What the hell? It didn't work before. Okay, that was so weird. Basically, we are here for the grand finals of the STPL Season 3. I can't believe my first line of the finals was me saying damn it, because it didn't pick up my microphone at all, and I'm like, what? And then it did, so we're finally here. It took around 13, 14, maybe 15 weeks to get through the season, and then I had a week break because last weekend I was literally melting and there was no way in hell I was going to be able to cast. I think I would have probably died if I'd have tried, given how hot it was. But the heat wave ended on Thursday. It's still quite warm, but it's cooling down, which is good, but hopefully the games today will be heating up. Now, this is going to be a best of 7, regardless of what it says on the screen. Unfortunately, due to the heat wave, it made me forget to do a lot of stuff that I should have done regarding the overlay and stuff like that, but it's not a big deal. You guys know what everything is like anyway. It's a best of 7, lineups are selected in advance, all the games were played at the same time. That was 2 Sundays ago, and was it 2 Sundays ago? It was last Sunday. Last Sunday they were played. And then set 7 is the ace match, which means any player can compete again. And we have a crazy lineup of players. Now, I did try and put my green screen up, but I realized how useless it is. So before Season 4, I'm going to try and get a new one, because genuinely it's almost impossible to make it look right, and it's just a waste of time. So I just took it back down again. You can have me in the weird like box thing that I'm usually in, and then we can go from there. But still, should be a good finals. I'm looking forward to the games we're going to have. Both these teams have been very good throughout all 3 seasons of the STPL. This is IRK's first grand finals in the STPL, but this is Seoul's 3rd in a row, winning both of the previous ones in game number 7. I mean, let's just have a look at both the teams' records so far. I mean, looking at Seoul Gaming, they went 10-0 in the season in the group stage. All time, they've had 54 wins and 4 losses in matches, which is kind of insane. But one of those 4 losses was to IRK a very long time ago. But in Season 1, IRK stood up against Seoul and they took them down. Head to head though, this is definitely not looking good statistics wise for IRK. They're 8 wins. Oh, Seoul are 7 wins ahead. But we've seen upsets happen in the past. IRK upset Valhalla team to make it this far. They upset Net Wars as well. And here they are in the grand finals trying to stand up against Seoul. Now, Seoul very strong, but IRK are very strong themselves as well, and I've completely forgotten how to do all of my overlay and everything because it's been that long. But season-wise, they went 7 wins, 4 losses. They're at 40 wins overall, 22 losses, which is not bad whatsoever. That's over an over 66% win rate, if I can figure out how to do maths. Head-to-head, as I mentioned before, they're not doing as well, but when you look at the lineups we're going to be heading into, you can see just why IRK are so unbelievably strong. Let's have a look at it. So in our first, well, that's the 6th game. So in game number 6, we'll have Noob. Wait, what the heck? Why is this not loaded properly? Oh man, this is not going well for me today. Here we go. So here's the first 5 games. Game number 1 is Noob versus Oyaji. That's going to be on Fancy 2. We're going to have Hero versus Vodi on game number 3. Oh man, I'm making so many mistakes today. Game number 2 on Monty SE. Shine versus True Touch on Andromeda in game number 3. Scan versus Kamizerg in game number 4. Bonith versus Favorite in game number 5. And then in game number 6, which I don't think is going to show properly, but I'm going to try and bring it up. Yeah, so game number 6 doesn't show properly at all. So basically game number 6 is going to be Zealot versus DeWalt. So it's going to be a PvP, a TVT, a ZVZ, and then we come to an end. Well, I say we come to an end.
Keeks is a VR chat addict catfishing people on VR chat. PogChamp, PogChamp,
oh man, thank you, Ari.
PogChamp.
Thank you, Fuji.
STPL curse Pog.
Damn, those things are so long. Yeah, my code melted to the heat, it did. But we're going to have a TVT, ZVZ, TVZ, PvP, ZVP, and then to finish us off... Wait. No, that is everything. Yeah, so we're going to have 2 PvPs, 1 TVT, 1 ZVZ, and 1 TVZ, and 1 ZVP. So we've basically got one of every matchup minus TVP. It's a shame that IRK didn't have another Terran that could have gone against Bonith. But I think out of everyone, Favorite definitely has a good shot. So it's one of those things where I think this final, like, it obviously is statistically very much in favor of Seoul. But on the day... IRK have got some very strong players here that could take some wins off. I mean, DeWalt, the Miracle Toss, he's already beaten Shine in a macro game in PvZ. I'm fairly certain he can beat Zealot. True Touch can win a ZVZ against Shine. I mean, ZVZ is very volatile anyway. And Shine hasn't been playing as much recently, given the fact he is in the army. So let's have a look at our first couple of players, then we can start getting into the games, and then hopefully my brain will kind of wake up a little bit. In game number 1, we're going to have the STPL rank 2 player in Noob. He was rank 1 for a long time until Scan took him over, and then he's kind of been 2nd and 3rd with Bonith. And wait, is it Bonith? No, it's DeWalt who's quite close. I think DeWalt might be 3rd at the moment, or Kogut. Kogut's 3rd. It's been so... It feels like it's been so long. Oh my goodness, I've completely forgotten how to cast, I've completely forgotten how to do everything, and I'm gonna have to get back into the game if I want to do Season 4 when I want to do it. So we'll talk about that at the end of the cast, of course, but Noob is a very, very strong player. He's not lost a single PvP so far. He's 12 wins and 0 losses. His opponent, he is up against someone who is definitely one to win a couple of PvPs in his time. He does have a closer to 50% win rate, but as with all mirror matchups, it can be very volatile. We are a very strong PvP player, and I reckon if anyone out of outside of DeWalt can take a win off of Noob, it's gonna be Oya. So let's see if he can do it. He's just made his way to his first crown, which is 25 wins as well, so let's see if he can get his 26th. The map we're going to be going into is going to be Fancy 2. This is definitely another one of the weirder volatile maps we've got. In this instance, we've got Noob spawning in the top right Nostalgia. The top right Nostalgia spawn. And then in the bottom right of the Valkyries, we do have Oya. So we're going to have vertical spawns. Now, depending on who plays aggressive to begin with, it can be very easy to contain your opponent, which I would say gives Oya a little bit of a bonus, given the fact he will be able to contain his opponent by using bridges rather than having to use a big bit of high ground. But anything can happen, anything goes. Oya did win he won two of his 3 games on here. I think he actually won his last 2, and he did beat Cruzago here on his last matchup, so pretty good. IRK have actually done a lot better on this map. According to this, and I don't know how true this is, this has to be a bug in the database, because according to this, Seoul have not won a single game on this map. But I'm fairly certain they've played it and won on it, but maybe they haven't. Maybe they haven't. I'll have to check everything afterwards. Oh man, it's been a long day, a long week, a long year so far, so let's hope we can round out Season 3 with a good start. Let's get into game number 1. Okay, starting us off here in the top right hand corner, we have the red Protoss player fighting for Soul. It's Noob. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right hand corner fighting for IRK in the blue. It's gonna be Oyaji. Now it's a PvP. It feels like, once again, it's been months since I've seen a PvP, but it's only actually been a couple of weeks. Just goes to show how much a heat wave can destroy my brain. We've had a lot of fun throughout this season. There's been a lot of really good games. And I'm hoping we don't get struck by the finals curse, because it doesn't matter what the tournament is. Usually, the finals will always be a little bit off for one reason or the other, but the 2 finals we've had so far in the STPL have been absolutely insane. Both of them have gone down to the very wire in game number 7. They were both won by Soul in the end, but it was very close, with White Clan almost taking both of them. So even though people think Soul are the undisputed champions, they came very close to losing both of their previous grand finals. But they still did a very good job, and of course that means they have a chance of becoming our first 3-time champion in the STPL. I do wonder if they'll stick around for Season 4 and try and go for either a 3rd win if IRK can win here, or a 4th. And who their new opponents might be, because I'm going to open up signups for Season 4 sometime the end of this week. So by this week I mean the week coming up. Now looks like we've got Oya playing pretty standard, going for a gate into a core, Noob doing exactly the same thing, both of them going for gas. Looks like Oya's gas was a little bit quicker, and he was actually a little bit quicker on his probes as well, where he did skip this versus Zealot, which means his economy is going to be a little bit better as long as he doesn't take any damage to the early Zealot pressure. Now, Oya going to scout cross position first of all. This is going to be a little bit unfortunate, and when I say his economy is going to be a little bit better, he is of course scouting, which is something Noob isn't doing, so he is missing out on a little bit of mining time, but it's not too big of a deal. And especially given the fact the Zealot's waiting here for the probe not getting there right away is pretty good. Supposedly, someone is saying they can't hear me. I really hope you can, because if not, I've just been speaking to myself this entire time. It looks like it's coming through. This is from replays. This is a global team league. All the games are played at the same time, so casting from live is impossible. But it's the first time this game has ever been seen by anyone outside of the players, so... Now, Noob went for that early Zealot, I think, to be a little bit more defensive, but knowing his opponent doesn't have a Zealot himself, he's going to look to put out a little bit of pressure. The Dragoon, unfortunately for Oya, going to get caught in the middle of the map here, taking a lot of damage, wants to make sure he doesn't lose a single bit of health here, takes one shot when he doesn't necessarily need to. The second Dragoon going to be coming up here, but there's going to be a Dragoon and a Zealot on the high ground to reinforce this. So he definitely does need to get back to his high ground. But this means he's going to be a little bit contained early on, and this is something I did mention when going through the map information. Now, both players are going for a Robo, so it is going to be Reaver versus Reaver. But look at... Oh, yeah, it's actually going to push a little bit further forward. Noob getting a little bit too close to the middle of the map here. Going to be taking a little bit of extra damage. The Zealot is going to go down for free. And Oya is going to be able to put some counter pressure on here. He's going to be able to set himself up across these bridges, which will make it very difficult for Noob to move out. But Oya needs to be careful. If you get a little bit too greedy, if you try and go too fast, I mean, look at this. He's going to try and push into the bridges, which is something he definitely wants to be not doing. And now he just needs to make sure he doesn't get caught off guard by his opponent's Reaver. Oya getting ready to possibly expand, a very risky ploy in a PvP. But we'll have to see if he can make it work. There is 2 gateways here for Noob, which means eventually he's going to get a Dragoon advantage, but Oya, of course, having his own. Now, PvP, especially on this map, feels very difficult to expand. We've got Oya moving over here with one of his Dragoons. Now, this is actually a path that Noob can take to try and get out away from the bridges. So you definitely want to keep an eye on that, although Oya is going to move back. Oh, he's sending in his... okay, this... I'm not really sure what that was, but he was checking, see what was going on, making sure the Dragoons were definitely there. Noob getting ready to deal with any form of drops. We've got a probe stuck, but he can just shot it out. So we do have no shuttle speed coming in for Oya, no shuttle speed coming in for Noob either. But unlike Noob, Oya is actually going to try and expand, and this could be a big problem, because spending 400 minerals on a Nexus right now is very risky. Your opponent is getting more and more Dragoons, he's getting Observers, which is something you don't have, and he's going to have a Reaver drop coming towards you. Now, of course, where the Dragoons are for Oya means this is going to be a little bit harder to get this drop across the map, and we will have a drop coming in for Oya soon as well, although it looks like his is a lot later. Now, looks like Oya does get the first Dragoon, does need to be careful. There's a big army, doesn't want to engage this, especially in this position. Trying to move up to the high ground is going to be quite difficult. The Reaver going to be coming out of the shuttle. He really should just fall back to his own shuttle here, but he wants to get the best trade he can. Nice target firing on the Reaver. The shuttle almost about to go down as well. The Reaver goes down. This is massive. Noob is taking a lot of damage here. And Oya pushing back across, really giving us a very entertaining game here. Just look at the engagement he just managed to take, which is crazy. But looks like the Nexus is going to be coming up for Noob, and this is going to be a massive advantage now for Oya. As long as Oya doesn't take a ton of damage from the second Reaver, Oya is in a winnable position here. He just needs to be not too greedy, and he needs to be very careful. He doesn't want to lose the shell. This is going to be massive if he loses it. Looks like the Reaver going to take a couple of shots off here. Can he kill these Dragoons and break through and break the natural? If he can, that would be massive. The shuttle, though, 1 hit, or 2 hits, I think, away from death. The Nexus has been cancelled. We've got another Reaver here, but it is in a very damaged shuttle. Does want to be very careful. But looks like we do have shuttle speed, I think, for Noob now, whereas Oya doesn't have that. You definitely want to be careful here, Oya. There is an Observer, which he can't do anything about, which is a pretty annoying thing to deal with. But Oya is in a very, very nice position now. Oh, look at the Reaver, look at the Reaver. Can he pick it up? He needs to keep an eye on it. Oh, he gets it! Both of them picking up. Perfect Reaver control from both so far. Now, Noob does have 2 Reavers. This is a massive damage breakpoint because 1 Reaver against 2 is not necessarily what you want to be dealing with, but these... Oh, the Dragoons! Okay, they were some really, really nice Scarabs. Looks like he's going to push forward, knowing that the shuttle is about to go down. This could be a massive mistake, though. He's taking so much damage on these Dragoons. His army is melting, but he's still up in workers. He's still up in bases. And with no shuttle, it means Noob cannot go for any form of counter pressure here. So as long as Oya keeps building up, he's up now to 3 gateways, going up to 5. How many gateways do we have from Noob? He's only on 3 at the moment. This is really, really sick so far. 5 gateways for Oya is an incredible, incredible mini victory, because the more units he gets, the harder it is to beat Oya for Noob. Looks like Noob is getting ready to try and expand again, but he's still in a bit of a weird position. Observer's going to be coming out here and seeing the shuttle, which is a massive... Or is he going to see this? This is a really, really important moment. A lot of Oya's units are completely out on the map. Looks like the shuttle's going to get past the Reaver. That is incredibly annoying, and I've only just realized this mineral field is here. I guess it blocks a drop, which I've never thought of before. But there's 2 Reavers going to be coming into the main. This is actually a massive, massive problem. It's going to be so hard to get back in here. This is the move that Noob needed to get back into the game. It's the one thing Oya had to keep an eye out on. And this is definitely looking a little bit more rough. The probe pull is a little bit better there, but it's still taking a few hits. The Dragoon's in a bit of a weird spot here, but he wants to kill the Reavers. He doesn't want to kill the shuttle. But this is when Noob is going to start to be in a very, very good spot, because it's going to be so hard for Oya to actually kill these. Like, if he focuses the shot... Oh, no, the probes! Oh, he needs to pull the probes away! Okay, he gets the probes away for now. The Reaver going to take a Scarab here. The shuttle is still moving back and forth. And this is one of those things where... essentially... Oh, the shuttle goes down with 2 Reavers. That's massive. The supply count is a little bit closer. The worker lead is in favor of Noob now. But the supply lead is still with Oya, and Noob just lost 2 Reavers. Looks like we are going to have Noob moving forward. A lot of Oya's units are actually still in his main. This is a very important timing. If Noob can get in here, he could break the base most likely. A lot of the units getting stuck on the probes as well. The observers just haven't been cleaned up by Oya here. I mean, he's got an observer heading into his opponent's natural. He sees the expansion. He sees the gas coming up. I mean, Oya has a ton of gas right now. He is definitely in a position where he can tech, which he's going to do. But he needs to be careful. And look at this, Noob clears up the observer. Now, Oya is in no way going to be able to break these bridges. If he tries to go here, this is going to be a massive, massive error on his part. Looks like the 2 Reavers trying to come over here to the right. The Reavers, the shuttle are going to go down, but the Reavers doing so much damage on the high ground. This distraction is going to give him the ability to actually push in over the bridges. A Reaver in here, is that going to be enough to hold on? The Reavers cannot get in to help this engagement, but the Dragoons, if they just get over the bridge, they're in such a good spot now. The Reavers from the high ground are going to be doing so much damage, but they're just too far out the engagement. The probes have been pulled. And it looks like Noob may have held on, which is a little bit unfortunate here for Oya, given the position he was in. But this is still 2 Reavers. If they just fire on the Reaver of his opponent, he could do so much damage. He's doing a lot of damage to the Dragoons. The Reaver about to go down, but Oya losing his Reaver as well. And that engagement did not go as well as it should have done for Oya. If he'd have just pushed in a little bit later on with his Reavers, or pushed in with everything, like a lot of his units getting stuck, and another observer going down. Oya must be kicking himself right now, but both players are almost completely even at this point, so we still have a game going on right now. Looks like Oya getting ready to mine out the way to his 3rd base. This is going to give him a better way of moving in between his bases to defend, which is pretty important. Also, yeah, hull right, nice. It's not as hot anymore. Okay, we've got both players going in to a Templar Archives. This should mean Storm is going to be coming up for both players. Finally, we have Oya taking out one of those units. Now, Noob is going to try and take a 3rd base here. This is an island base, so as long as this is not scouted, which is going to be hard given Oya's lost so many of his observers so far. Then this could be difficult, but obviously Noob has to somehow try and get the units over. Now, once again, if Oya pushes over the bridges again, I think I might just turn the stream off. Like, you do not want to push over the bridges. Where is he going? Why? Why is he going over there? Now, oh no, both players just traded the observers. And there's a DT. Oh my god, there's 3 DTs from Oya though. Are we gonna have like a weird... Oh no, there's already an observer here. Oh no, is 1 DT gonna end this game? He's not building an observer, he's got no detection. He's gonna die to a DT. Oh no. Oh yeah. Oh no. No, 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 not like this. There's 2 DTs and oh, this is game over. Oya was doing so well. But it just... That's it. He's got no detection. The observer... He's not cancelling the Reaver. Why? GG. Oya taps out, and after a very tense and close game, Noob clutches game number 1. We'll go for a quick break, and when we get back, we'll go into game number 2. See you guys then.
STPL Season 3. Yeah. STPL DAS. Bio TVP? Wow! No problem. We got dragons to defend. Yeah. STPL DAS. STPL DAS. Mass Scout? Oh, I'm so afraid. We got Hydralists to defend. Yes. STPL. STPL. Fantastic production. Fantastic casters. Fantastic prize pool. Only in STPL.
I'm about to overload my aggression inhibitors. Outstanding. Rock and roll.
Welcome back. We're going to be heading into game number 2 of the grand finals of season 3 of the STPL. Now, a lot of people will probably look at that previous game and they'll look at the result online when it goes up on Liquipedia and they'll say, well, Oya lost to Oya lost to Noob. And then he'll be like, oh, well, that's kind of expected, but Oya was very far ahead at one point. Like, he played the game really well. And then unfortunately he just took some bad engagements, lost too many observers, and that was it. Like, that game was a lot closer than I think a lot of people would believe. Like, there's a lot of people who would say, oh, Oya's never going to beat Noob. Oya is a very strong player. It's just, in the end of the day, Noob won the game. But there we go. So, let's have a look at our next 2 players. Starting us off here for Soul is going to be Hero. Hero, his old AKA was Sexy. He was on We Made Fox. I don't think he played too many games in Pro League level. I think he maybe played like 1 or 2 if possible. I can't even remember. But still, he's done pretty well so far in the STPL so far, but he's not actually played any TVTs. This is going to be his TVT debut. His opponent, fighting for IRK, is going to be Vodi. Now, his TVT hasn't been doing too well, so I'm a little bit worried for Vodi here. I definitely think out of all of the matchups today, this is probably going to be one of the more one-sided ones. But Vodi could have something prepared. We've seen him come out on Core Breach against Chaylin. He went for like 3 racks in the middle of the map, and he won. So can he do it again? Let's find out as we look at our our second map in the series. And I forgot to change the menu, so there we go. It's Monty Hall SE. Monty Hall SE is a very fun TVT map. We've had a lot of really good games here in TVT, and when I say a lot, we've only had 3, but just in general, this has been one of the best maps to watch from this season. There has been so many good games, and the TVTs we usually have here, they've got a chance of going very short or very long. Like, I mean, TBT doesn't really go short here just because early barracks play doesn't really do too much, so you can't really proxy, but we've seen some really fun games, so that's all that matters. Let's get into game number 2 in just a second. I'm looking forward to seeing how Hero tries to, how Vodi tries to deal with Hero. Does he try and play a little bit aggressive? Does he try and play more standard? I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can play on this map. It's very easy to split down the middle. So if we have a really long and cool epic TBT, I will be very happy. But we're going to have to see if we can get there first of all. It's very difficult for Vodi. So let's see if we can do it as we get into game number 2. Okay, starting us off here in the top left hand corner, we do have Vodi fighting for IRK from Sweden. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right hand corner in the blue, fighting for Soul. It's gonna be Hero. From South Korea. Okay, so TBT, it's quite difficult to be aggressive on this map, but especially 2-port Wraith is definitely something we could see from Hero. He's got a very sexy style as per his old ID. Vodi as well plays very interestingly in TBT, so I'm not really too sure how this is going to be going. Looks like Hero is going to proxy his rack somewhere. He does skip his SUV throw. I mean, he could actually go for a 14cc out here as well. But looks like he is going to go and proxy a rack somewhere. Looks like Vodi is also going to push an SUV through here. This is really fun if you've never seen this tech before. Essentially, you just mine with the SUV over the top of the other one, and then you press stop. And it pushes the other SUV through. You do have to right click a lot to do it, but yeah, it's still the season 2 like thumbnail. There's a lot of stuff that I need to fix throughout the season 2 or season 3 to season 4 thumbnail. Season 3 to season 4 transition, but hopefully, given the fact I'm giving myself a long enough break, I should be able to do it this time. Between season 2 and 3, I basically spent all my time redoing all of the overlay from scratch almost. But I'm quite happy with how the overlay is doing now. Okay, so it is going to be a command center. Now, he skipped an SCV through but didn't build it here for some reason, which is something I'm a little bit confused about. Looks like he wants to go and scout for anything crazy in the middle of the map. Looks like he's going to try and push a Marine through. Now, this shouldn't really do too much. Gosu Vigi memeingly saying I'm too lazy. If I could do this as my full-time job, then everything would be 100 times better. But because I have to work like 8.5 hours a day as well as casting, I don't really have much time. So I can only do as much as I can. I love the fact there's a Marine in here. It's not going to kill anything. I mean, SCVs kill Marines pretty handily, but it's just kind of funny to think that you got an SCV in. I am very lazy though, I must admit. It is a very big problem of mine. Okay, this is really nice Marine micro. Looks like the SCV is going to trap the Marine. Oh, no, he's going to give up. He's going to keep his SCV alive, which is definitely a lot better. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Nice SCV control by Vodi there to keep that alive. Now, he does have an SCV in his opponent's base. His opponent does not have a command center just yet, so Vodi is going to be the one with the macro lead at the time being. Now, oh, okay, so that was Vonnie actually building a depot to get into the main base. I like how Castamuse just highlights a message saying kicks lazy guy. Damn it! I'm being memed on. It's not fair. I'm being bullied. That's good to see you here, Castamuse. And yeah, I am incredible. That is the Ghost of Vigi pointing out that, oh, let's keep an eye on the game. We've got a Vulture in the main base now, so he did actually manage to skip that through. There's nothing that Vonnie has at the moment that can deal with this, so this Vulture should get a good number of kills. This is really annoying for poor Vonnie to have to deal with. Vulture micro is so good. But he does have the work, or he doesn't have the worker lead actually after that. He lost a ton of SCVs. That's actually a pretty big problem because all of a sudden, Hero is going to have the macro lead. He's got the Vulture in the main base. Looks like he's going to maybe try and skip another one through. Vulture coming out here from Hero. Is he going to glitch another one in? Yes, he is. Okay, he kind of messed that up a little bit. But he is going up to 3 factories. No starport as of yet for either player. 3 factories for both. Vonnie is catching up in the worker deficit, which is very impressive. But the main problem is going to be dealing with these Vultures, because this is a lot of Vultures to be dealing with. Yeah, as I was saying before, the Vulture decided to kill everything. Oh, in fact, I'll wait until after this, because here we go. There's a ton of speed Vultures coming into Vonnie's base, and Vonnie doesn't have anything defending this. Where is his units gone? What are his units doing in his main? This is not good. He is going to be cut off from his natural by mines. And this is just possibly too much damage for him to be taking. There is a tank here, but mines should be able to help deal with this. He needs to target the mine. He needs to target the mine, or the tank's going to go down. The tank goes down anyway, and I think this is probably going to be checkmate. I don't see any way for Vonnie to hold on to this. He's going to have a lot of Vultures heading through to reinforce this. And even with SCVs here, Vonnie has just taken too much damage. GG! Vonnie taps out, and Hero takes game number 2.
I am the Scatman. Para pa pi pa pa para pum. Pa pa para pum. Para pi pa pa para pum. Pa pa para pum. Para pi pa pa para pum. I am the Scatman. Scooby-Doo-Doo-Doo-Beepa. Scooby-Doo-Doo-Beepa. Scooby-Doo-Doo-Beepa. I am the Scatman.
Okay guys, welcome back. We're going to be heading into game number 3 of the grand finals of STPL Season 3. And the first player up is going to be Shine for Soul. If you don't know who Shine is, you've probably not followed the Brood War Pro scene at all, because he is one of the best and most creative players who has ever taken part in the pro scene. He is a very, very strong Zerg player, but he has bled before. And when I say that, he lost to Bonneth. Sorry, lost to DeWalt even. So he's actually got a little bit of a curse brewing here. Yeah, it is the actual Shine. He's got a curse brewing here because IRK have beaten Shine before. And can their player, can the King of Poland himself do it once again, taking after DeWalt? It's going to be True Touch. It is going to be a ZVZ. It's going to be on Andromeda. Now, True Touch, a very, very strong player, especially in ZVZ. So this could be absolutely incredible because this is going to be a really, really fun game, I think. ZVZ is always interesting. When you've got True Touch in a ZVZ, you never know what's going to happen. When Shine's in a ZVZ, he's one of the most creative players ever. You never know what he's going to do either. So we're going to have... Oh yeah, Bonneth is technically the King of Poland. But, okay, so True Touch is the Zerg King of Poland. I said Proland. Oh my god. Shine is a pro gamer, yeah. But Proland, that's it. Like, True Touch, a very, very strong player. Shine hasn't played as much recently, given he's in the army. We just saw Oya nearly take out Noob. It was very, very close. Can True Touch get IRK on the board here in this ZVZ? We'll have to find out as we go into our next map. It's going to be Andromeda, one of the more standard maps in the map pool. Interestingly, for ZVZ, there's a mineral only in the main base, which honestly is not too important in a ZVZ, I guess, because in ZVZ it's kind of very rare that you will ever see anyone take that mineral only just because you need gas, and it's very difficult to actually be able to do anything. So it's going to be kind of cool to see what both players are going to have prepared in this match, because I think this could go either way. ZVZ is very volatile. True Touch, Shine, both very, very good ZVZ players. And just overall, I'm just really, really excited to be able to get into this game. So let's do it. It's game number 3. It's True Touch versus Shine. 2-0 for Soul so far. Can IRK get back on the board with True Touch getting a win here? Or are we going to see Soul make their way to match point? Let's find out. Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand position, we have the Zerg King of Poland. It's True Touch himself, fighting for IRK in the pink. And his opponent spawning up here in the top right-hand corner. It's Bag of Builds himself. It's the ex-Samsung Khan pro gamer, Shine, fighting for Soul in the light, or the like weird green. Yeah, True Touch from Proland. Now it looks like both players going to be scouting the wrong directions with their overlords, so neither player is going to have a scouting advantage, at least early on. We're going to have to keep an eye on what the builds are going to be, because it looks like we do have an overlord coming in for Shine, whereas True Touch is going for a 9 pull. Now, Shine is going to go for a later pull most likely, but if he goes for a 12 hatch here, this could be a very, very good build order advantage for True Touch. Should be much like what we saw with Oya and Noob. Oya was incredibly close to taking down Noob in game number 1, but due to a few weird decisions, a few misengagements, he did find himself losing that, which puts Soul to 2-0. Now we've got an in-base 12 hatchery into... Sorry, that was an in-base 11 hatchery into an 11 pool and a 10 gas. So Shine is going to have more lava overall. But obviously early in the game, speed is going to be done much sooner for True Touch if he goes for Ling speed. No, he's actually going to rush for Lair, so this is pretty good for Shine right now. True Touch, of course, does have his Lings coming on, but he doesn't know where his opponent is. If he goes cross positions, that's actually going to be a big mistake. And it looks like that's what he's going to do. He's only sending one of the Lings to the closest base. I feel like sending one Ling to the far base would be better, but he sees the Overlord. Okay, this is very important. He should know to turn around, but no, because he thinks that that may have been the first scouting Overlord, he's going to keep going the wrong direction, and this is going to give Shine a chance to get up his Lings, and this is definitely a big problem for True Touch. Now, it looks like True Touch going to turn around immediately. He does get a little bit of damage on one of the drones. If he can micro this properly, he could heavily damage a lot of these, so he does need to be a little bit more careful. Now, True Touch is just very lucky that his opponent didn't go with Lings to his base. Now, the problem that True Touch has is he's going into a very quick Spire, but he is going to be up against 2 hatchery Ling production here. Now, it's very... oh my god, Shine is going into a 3rd hatchery. Shine is the bag of builds, and this is why. He's not mining gas in ZVZ, he's going for mass Lings, he's going for a 3rd hatchery. He is going to go into an Evo chamber behind this and try and defend against the Muteless with spores, I would imagine. Now, the game is far from over. It's only 4 minutes in, although I guess in a ZVZ this feels like the late game at this point. True Touch's Overlord is about to head into this base as well, so he should see what his opponent's doing. But he does need to make sure he doesn't lose his natural ramp, because if he loses this, this is going to be the end of the game. Now, there is a Sunken coming up at the main, so True Touch getting ready to have his main busted. And this is actually super important because there is a ton of Lings here. Shine getting ready to try and flood in. Looks like we do have good micros so far by True Touch, keeping a lot of his Lings alive at the top of the ramp. But this is definitely starting to get a little bit out of hand. This is going to be a ton of Lings coming over here by Shine. But True Touch is managed to hold on to his ramp, at least for the time being. The Sunken is done. He's going to fall back to the help of the Sunken now. But is this going to be a massive mistake? We'll have to find out. There's another creep colony coming in. He is getting ready to go mass Sunkens to try and defend this. Getting a couple of drones, though, is Shine. That's a major advantage in ZVZ, especially when you're up 3 hatcheries to... well, up 2 hatcheries to 1. I guess it's 3 hatcheries to 1, but we've still got a lot of Lings coming in here. The drones are in a bad position, but there's no spore colony just yet, so these muters could actually kill a ton of these drones. This is all a game of time right now. If he can get the Sunken, or if he can get enough drones before the spore finishes, he is going to be in a good spot, but... looks like Shine going to come back in, losing another drone that was actually carrying some gas. This is such a weird game. It's so hard to call the position here because Shine is obviously doing incredibly well. But Shine doesn't have any tech. He literally has drones and that's it. If True Touch can build a critical number of Mutalisks off of the number of bases he has, True Touch should be able to do critical damage to Shine here, but he needs to be careful. True Touch has to build up this Mutalisk count, and he has to go quickly. Now, he needs to focus his creep colony, because the more spore colonies there are, the worse it's going to be for him. And by doing this, he's actually getting a couple of hits off. The drone manages to stay alive, even. Okay, True Touch gets a drone here and there. He's going to get another one, most likely, but doesn't want to lose any Mutalisks. Now this is good micro here from True Touch, going to force the spore colony back once again. There is 2 spores in the main now, which is going to make it impossible for him to break through here, but True Touch is moving into Lings again, so he is going to try and break through, knowing his opponent doesn't have a Sunken. True Touch needs to be so careful with these Mutalisks. They are worth their weight in gold. If he can push in with the Mutalisks and the Lings at the same times, then he is going to be in a good spot, but he essentially needs to tank with Overlords and go in with the Muteless to kill the Lings, I think. But there is another creep colony coming up. It looks like True Touch going to try and get past. He's engaging where the spore colonies cannot view. And this is actually a pretty important moment in this game. The extra spore colony is going to go down here. He can't engage with those Lings. He needs to be careful. But True Touch is still in a pretty good spot. He doesn't have that many drones though. So this is a problem. Oh no, a misrally. True Touch brings a drone over here. I think he was planning on going for a Sunken or something. But he does have a relatively good amount of Muteless here, but he can't afford to be losing these Lings right now. He's down to 4 drones against so many, 12 here for Shine. But True Touch does manage to sneak into the main with a few drones. There's a lot of Lings coming in to defend this though. If he can, oh my god, is he going to be able to get this? I don't think he is. Oh, he's so close to being able to kill this. It's not going to go down, but he can kill it with the Muteless now, surely. Just go in and get one shot and that spore is dead, and all of a sudden you can start to attack the main mineral line, but you need to go fast, and here we go. Oh my god, one hit was not enough. He waited a little bit too long, but he is going to be able to clear a lot of these Lings out. Now, if only True Touch could, if he could somehow drone behind this, he would be in a really nice position, given the fact his opponent is now mining off of just gas at his main base. Yeah, he just needs to take the guaranteed damage here. He cannot hold on any other way. Like, I'm really unsure what his plan is here. He needs to try and make something happen. And by attacking this, you stop any more spore colonies coming in. Now, it looks like the Lings are getting ready to come in for possibly one final attack. But I just feel like he's missing out on damage. Now, it looks like we are going to have a lot of Lings engaging from True Touch. Shine's other Lings are in his main, but look at the control by Shine. It's insane how much he's doing with the amount of Lings he has. Now, it looks like True Touch has actually cleared up a lot of the Lings from the main base. So now the Lings are going to come back in here. But once again, Shine's Lings seem to have double the amount of HP. Now he is going to get the guaranteed damage done with the Lings at the very least. But he doesn't kill the building. Thing is, there's still no Mutelisks and there's still no Scourge possible here for Shine. So True Touch, if he can just get more units, if he could just drone behind this, if he'd had like 10 drones at this point, it would look so different, but unfortunately, he's just stuck all in. And this just looks like too many Lings. Yeah, I feel like True Touch maybe went too far all in. Like, I feel like if he'd have droned during all of this, rather than going for these mass Ling attacks, which couldn't do anything, I think he'd be in a better position, but he's still doing damage. He's still keeping Shine making Lings, which is, I guess, what he was aiming for by going for the Ling attacks, but the fact is, he's just completely stuck. It looks like he's finally starting to drone up, but because he never killed the Overlord with anything, Shine knows about this, so Shine knows that he's probably not going to need this, although he is going to keep building it. Like, True Touch cannot break this anymore. Like, this is not a position he is ever going to be able to go into. Like, let's check the kill count. 10 kills, 10 kills, 4 kills, 5 kills, and 13 kills. Like, these mutas have been worth them, like, worth their weight in gold, but looks like that's actually going to supply block Shine as well, at least for the time being. I mean, the game is still going. It's not over just yet. But there is so many Lings coming out for Shine now. Shine is finally in a position to get a lair. And when this Spire goes up, that is when things go from bad to worse. But, I mean, True Touch still does have 5 Mutelisks. It's just he can't do anything with them. No upgrades either for True Touch, so as soon as the Spire is done, Shine is going to be in a really good spot. Now, he could actually kill this hatchery, I think. He gets another drone, which is good because he is trying to drone to catch up. Looks like he is going to maybe get another overlord here, but does need to be careful. Gets another drone. And another. Respectable damage, but the trouble is, once again, he's up against 3 hatcheries. Oh, and one of the muteless goes down. That's actually a massive problem. He's trying to get the sunken because he wants to go in again with Lings. But I'm just not seeing him breaking this. This is a lot of Lings though. Let's actually zoom out a little bit for this. Let's have a look, see if True Touch can actually break his way through. Shine with a very, very good concave, but True Touch still doing a decent amount of damage, but there's just too much. Mathematically, there's nothing True Touch can do here. The Mutalists are falling back, the Scourge are catching them, gets another connection, and another... Oh, he actually kills all the Scourge, so doesn't lose any of the Mutalisks. But there we go, True Touch, tapping out, GG. And Shine takes Soul up 3-0. We're going to go for a quick break, and when we get back, we'll head into game number 4. Toss a coin to your content creators, oh Valley of Plenty, oh Valley of Plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your content creators, a friend of humanity. Toss a coin to your content creators, oh Valley of Plenty, oh Valley of Plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your content creators, a friend of humanity. Okay guys, welcome back. We're going to be heading into game number 4. Seoul are currently 3-0 up, and on match point they are sending out their final boss. It's going to be Scan here, rank 1 in the STPL for an incredibly long time. Koga and Noob have been close to him, but he just never loses. This man is at 41 wins, 5 losses overall, and honestly, he is just really, really, really good. He's one of the strongest amateur Korean Terrans. He played in the ASTL. I don't remember if he won. He did win. Yeah, he did win recently in the ASTL. He only played 1 game, I think, but Scan, I think, has just finished his army as well, like in the last couple of months. So he's able to go back into tournaments and stuff. I'm really looking forward to seeing how he does in the next ASL qualifiers. And Custom you saying, why don't you use it even though I provided me the new picture? The new pictures didn't have backgrounds, and I think I like this picture of Scan, so that's why I'm still using it. But yeah, either way, it's really damn good. Scan is a very, very good player. Thank you for the 100 bits, Anonymous Cheerer. And the ASTL was incredible. That's the most fun I've had watching Brood War for ages. Like, it's just so good. Now, Scan's opponent, fighting for IRK, is going to be Kamizerg. Now, Kamizerg is going to be up against it here. TVZ has not been his best matchup. 1 win, 3 losses. He's also had a large amount of time spent recently arguing with Avilov from Rev on Team Liquid. And unfortunately for Kamizerg, that ended up with him getting temporary banned. But it is a ZVT, it is a best of 1. You never, ever know what's going to happen. Can Kamizerg keep the dream alive for IRK, or are we going to see the series end with 4-0? We'll still see game 5 and 6, but genuinely, I get the feeling that this is going to be a tough game. But this is going to be a tough map for Scan, because unlike most normal maps, this map is Core Breach. And you know what's really good on Core Breach? Mutalisks. Mutalisks are very, very strong on Core Breach. It makes it very difficult to move in between your bases to defend them. And ZVT here, it's been a little bit one-sided in favor of Terran. But then that's because most of the games have been incredibly fast. And some of the games have been a little bit one-sided as well. So let's see if Kamizerg can keep the dream alive, or is Scan, the king of the STPL, going to twist the knife and end the series with Seoul taking their 3rd crown in a row? Let's find out. Okay, starting us off down here in the bottom left-hand corner is going to be Kamizerg in the blue, fighting for Sweden and IRK in the 9 o'clock position. And his opponent spawning up here in the top right-hand spawn is going to be the red Terran player fighting for South Korea and Seoul. It's Scan. Now, just in case you're unaware, the winner of this game will take home the majority of the prize, but second place is not going to go home empty-handed either. Our prize pool at the end of it all made it to $2,005 with help from our wonderful sponsors Liquipedia, Esport Fund, Matrino, and as well as some amazing sponsorship from various people in the community donating lots of their hard-earned cash. Thank you so much. But if you've never seen this map before, essentially this is the updated version of Innerkoven from ASL. It wasn't quite ready in time for ASL, and Freakling allowed me to use it for STPL, which is really, really nice of him. So Freakling has also been helping me with the ASTL, so sorry, not ASTL, with the STPL map contest, which during the break, I'll explain this a little bit in more detail after the series, but essentially we're going to have some map contests to try out the new maps. The first 8 maps, I think it was 8 or 7, have been decided from the judging phase that me and Freakling did. We had like a 2-hour long, I can't remember, we didn't use Zoom, but it was similar to Zoom. We had like a 2-hour long conference call where we kind of discussed what we thought should go through and everything. Freakling probably taught me more about maps in that one afternoon than I've ever heard in my, or I've ever known in my entire life. Freakling is incredibly clever. If you don't know who Freakling is, he is one of the best foreign map makers, and he's pretty amazing. So there is the map contest finalists if you want to see what some of the maps are looking like that could be getting into the next season of STPL, and you will see games on those maps, so it should be fun. They are getting a little bit of an update before, but yeah, Freakling is also the most handsome person on Earth. Very, very smart, 3000 IQ, and god human, basically. And just in case anyone knows Freakling from his time on the Pylon show, his microphone is actually very good. Like, I was really worried about the call because, oh, looks like we're going to have a 2-port coming in from Scan. So Scan playing as if he feels better than his opponent, but this can give Kamizerg a chance back into the game because you are only on 1 base. But yeah, Freakling's mic is very good, but on the Pylon show, his mic sounded like garbage because he had to basically whisper because it was like 4 AM in Germany. I think Freakling's German, and he couldn't he couldn't talk loudly. So that was a long time ago he was on the Pylon show. Feels it was even longer when I was on the Pylon show. I remember when I was on the Pylon show that one time when I almost felt relevant in the StarCraft scene. I mean, I guess the main problem is, like, especially for Europeans, like, you can't really go on the Pylon show anymore, because it starts at, like, 3 AM, and because we all have full-time jobs as well, they just kind of don't invite us. I was definitely on the Pylon show. I was 100% on there. I was on there with Zero, and was it Sham2 I was on there with? I can't remember. Okay, we've got a Hydralisk Den and a Spire coming up. That is the perfect play against the 2 Starport opening here from Scan. Scan going to move out with his first worker. Now, one thing to note, look at Kamizerg. He's not doing anything with his Overlords. His Overlords are back at home. He is expecting Scan to go for Wraiths here. And by not being able to get 3 Overlords, Kami is going to be in a very good position. Like, he is going to lose... Oh, he's going to lose 1. But he should be able to defend his other ones. But look at Scan's micro, man. This is insane. There's not enough Hydras just yet. Oh my god, he gets 3 Overlords anyway. Oh man. Damn. That was horrible for poor Kamizerg here, but Scan still has to find damage. He's still not done any drone damage, and Kamizerg does have 3 hatcheries, so there we go. Scan's still on 1 base. He's got his engineering bay coming up, getting ready for the eventual mutas. He does not have any cloak just yet. No cloak, so that means the mutalists are going to be able to break their way through the wraiths most likely if he does go for them. But he does, yeah, so he is. He's getting ready to go into mass air. He's going for Carapace, which is going to help out, especially against any Valkyries that may come out. No armory is coming up yet though, so I think Scan is probably going to transition into some bio. We see him building the turret to kill the missile detector, or the floor gun trap even. Now both players just getting ready to build up. We do have that cloaking coming in. There is Overlord speed done, I believe. When you look at the Overlords, that means he's going to be able to move in and engage with those Mutalisks. He doesn't have to worry too much about cloak. Although, as we've seen in previous installments, he is essentially in a very good position. Now, we do have 3 gases already for Kamizerg, so he can go in for a very quick hive here. And if he can do that, that'd be massive. Now, somehow, he didn't get a full hit, and not getting 2 drones is a pretty big deal. It looks like Kame has prepared pretty well for this map, and I mean, it is the grand finals. There is a lot of money at stake here. There's over $2,000 in prize money. The first player, or the first team, I think, get 45%. You know, I really should have this written down somewhere I can read, but we'll go through that at the end of the cast. But there's a lot of money involved, so even if Kame doesn't win here, IRK is still going to go home with a pretty sizable amount of money for a Brood War tournament, which is pretty good. But Kame is doing very well at the moment. He's got a supply lead. He's at 27 drones already. He's on 3 bases. It's going to be difficult to defend against the Wraiths if they come into his bases. Where are the Wraiths?
Reporting for duty.
Oh, there we go. They're up there. Thank you for the raid, Echo. Good to see you, man. Now, we do have the command center going to go down here. There's actually going to be no way of defending this. So he's going to be canceling this. And this means that good old Scan is going to be stuck here on 1 base. Although it looks like he is getting a good engagement so far on the Mulis. The turret's coming down here. There's a Valkyrie. He saves the command center? How does Scan do this? He gets both of the Overlords supply blocking Kamizerg, and he's actually going to force Kame to fly away because, oh, there is an Overlord here, so he could actually try and take this engagement. Nope, the Overlord goes down. Not going to allow that, although Scan is uncharacteristically, well, I was going to say uncharacteristically staying cloaked. Why is he engaging this? He's got no Overlord here. What is he doing? He's trying to focus down the command center. This is not worth it. Kamizerg needs to fall back and fast. If he'd had an Overlord there, that would have been incredible. But yeah, the repair coming in. Looks like Kamizerg going to try and get back in here. Does need to be careful though, because this is 8 Wraiths. This is a ton of damage. Oh my god, his micro is so good. Scan is just amazing at this game. The Overlord at the back, he is doing a lot of damage to these Wraiths, though the Mulis count is still quite high. Scan is not out of the woods yet. This is all of Scan's army. Oh my god, the turret. Is the turret going to go down? The repair on the turret is so strong. It's so close to dying, and he gets it. There's now no defense for this base, and Scan has lost his entire army. Kame is in a very good spot now at 69 supply, which is a very nice number against 30. And he is going to be able to get the command center. Does he have a queen? Is there a queen's nest? Is he going to infest Scan's command center? No. But if he could, that would be incredible. He is just going to kill it. A little bit unfortunate we're not going to see an infested CC, but when you're in this position, you want to win. And here comes 2 Valkyries here, but +1 armor is done. There's no +1 attack, which means these Mutalists are going to be doing a ton of damage and not taking too much, but does need to be careful. You cannot throw these Mutalists away, and he can't really engage this. This is a lot of Valkyries still. Now, Lucky Noob saying, do I have a robot voice? I hope it's just you. Maybe refresh the stream, but Scan is down on 1 base. Kame is doubling his opponent's supply. He really needs to be always going into +2 carapace. He needs to go into a lot of Scourge, because you know what beat Valkyries? Scourge. Valkyries cost a lot of money, they do a lot of damage, but they die to 2 Scourge. So if you just connect with any number of Scourge, you basically win the engagement. But here we go. Looks like we're going to have the final push here from Kame. Is he going to be able to take down the #1 ranked player in the STPL? Scourge coming in, Mutalist coming in from the bottom. The Overlords soaking in a lot of the hits here from the Valkyries, and they take a long time to wind up. But this is 5 Valkyries. Oh, but here come the Scourge. The Valkyries all go down, and Kamizerg is going to take him down, keeping the dream alive for IRK in the series. GG! Scan taps out, and Kame takes game number 4. We'll be back in just a few minutes with game number 5.
STPL Season 3. Yeah. STPL DAS. Bio TVP? Wow! No problem. We got dragons to defend. Yeah. STPL DAS. STPL DAS. Mass Scout? Oh, I'm so afraid. We got Hydralists to defend. Yes. STPL. STPL. Fantastic production. Fantastic casters. Fantastic prize pool. Only in STPL.
I'm about to overload my aggression inhibitors.
Outstanding. Rock and roll.
Okay guys, welcome back. We're going to be going into game number 5. Seoul were 3-0 up, but Kamizerg, taking down the number 1 ranked player in the entire STPL scan, keeps the dream alive here in the series for IRK. But Seoul, their heavy hitters don't stop coming, and up next we have Bonneth, the number 1 ranked foreigner in the foreign scene in the STPL. DeWalt is ranked higher, who's going to be coming up in game number 6 for IRK. But Bonneth is an incredibly good Protoss player. He's got a 91% win rate against Protoss in the STPL, which is absolutely ridiculous. And he's won his last 10 games. Like, how do you stop this man? But when you look at IRK, when they're up against it, they can pull off some incredible wins. DeWalt's Miracle Toss Micro pulling off there on Kamizerg, getting a perfect engagement to win that previous game. But his teammate favorite, also from Sweden, the pride of IRK, going to be standing up here against Bonneth. He's done pretty well in the STPL. He's not played as much recently. He played quite a bit in Season 2, but Season 3 he only played 1 or 2 games. I think he played 2 games. He must have played 2 games. But either way, really, really nicely done. Favorite is a very, very good Protoss player. Looking forward to seeing how this is going to go. Favorite was actually, yeah, Favorite's second game was against White, which was a series that IRK never actually played. So that's how they got around the Favorite couldn't play because of the two games rule. But Byzantium 3 is going to be our map of choice here. PvP, we've not had too many. We have had 6 though. This has been a pretty good... You know what? It's very weird that we've had 6 PvPs here. This is going to be our 7th. Just because Protoss versus Terran here has not gone very well at all. Like, sending out Protoss here against Terran is really risky, but it looks like both teams believe that they could maybe get a PvP. Favorite's one of his best matchups is PvP. Bonneth's best matchup, I think, by far is PvP. So it looks like maybe a little bit of planning going in from both teams, but it's going to be fun. It's very similar to Gladiator in the fact that there is a low ground main and high ground natural, but this was because Byzantium was the first map that popularized this, and if you don't know this little tidbit about this map, the 1-Rax Fast Expand against Protoss in TVP came from this map. Up Magic made it because essentially Terran couldn't win on Byzantium 3. Like, it was impossible. Or Byzantium in general, should I say, because there was 3 versions. But either way, let's get into game number 5. Can Favorite take us to another IRK victory? As Bonneth gonna push that knife in and twist it, cutting the neck off of IRK in game 5. Let's find out. It's game. Oh, let's get going. Okay, starting up here in the, well, I guess down here in the bottom right hand position in the grey, fighting for IRK, its favourite. And his opponent spawning down in the bottom left, it's the King of Proland himself, the Protoss player Bonneth, fighting for Soul. Now, the last time we had a PvP in the STPL, it was in, well, the last time we had a PvP in the STPL finals before this was actually, I believe, Noob vs Best, which is one of the best PvPs I've ever seen. Now, someone can probably check on Liquipedia, and there was probably a PvP in the Season 2 finals, but I can't remember that. I can remember Season 1, because that was crazy, but that was on Gladiator, that PvP. This map is very similar to that. We do have Foreigner versus Foreigner here. No Koreans in this game. But Bonneth, I mean, if there's one player in the foreign scene who's closest to Korean level, I would say it's him. He's got a newborn baby, essentially. He's got a full-time job, as far as I'm aware. And he is still an insane player. He moved from Net Wars to Seoul in Season 2, I believe, of STPL. God, there was no PvPs in Season 2 final, I remember. I know the Season 2 finals ended in a ZVZ, which was also sick. But the games we've had so far, other than Vodi versus not Up Magic, Sexy, were pretty good. Like, we've had an insane PvP to start us off. The ZVZ was ridiculous. And then we just had Kamizerg take down Scan in an incredible upset. Now, we do have both players going for relatively mirror builds. Favorite, at least in terms of building time, is a little bit further ahead. Not by much, but still. There we go, Lucky Noob. I deleted your own message for you so you can fix it. We are going to see DeWalt versus Zealot regardless of what happens in this game. Hopefully, we're going to see Favorite win here, so we go into Game 6 and have a chance of going into an ace match again, which would be the third Grand Finals in a row going to an ace match with Soul in it, which is kind of insane. But Favorite is definitely up against it here, but so was Kamizerg against Scan. And of course, Kamizerg won in the end, so Favorite has a shot here. And we still have a game on our hands. Never write anybody off in a best of one, in a 1v1 situation, because best of ones, it all comes down to who prepared better for the map and the game on the day. And that's just how the cookie crumbles. Now, one thing I do wonder is, have IRK misplanned the series a little bit? They've put the Miracle Toss in Game 6, which would give them a good chance of getting to an ace match if they can get there. But it also means he's not further out or further before in the roster, which forces them closer to the ace match. They have a lot of faith in Favorite. To send Favorite out in Game 5 essentially believes he can win. Because Game 5 is very important. If you win just one game before, which True Touch, which any of the players were very, very capable of doing so, you need Game 5. You need to win Game 5. And I think that's one of the reasons why Soul have sent out Bonneth here, because Bonneth is just incredibly, incredibly strong. And DeWalt did beat Zealot recently on G's Weekly, as well as pointed out. DeWalt also beat Shine in a macro game in the STPL. So DeWalt is a man who can take IRK to the ace match here, but this is relying on if Favorite can beat Bonneth, and that is when things start to become a problem. Favorite is an incredibly strong Protoss player, but look at Bonneth's micro. He's already doing so much. The second gateway coming in a little bit sooner. The lack of a Zealot not really causing Bonneth too many issues. The probe up here as well helping out in this engagement. And all of a sudden we have 3 Dragoons against 1. And this is a little bit rough. Apparently the colors are a bit hard to tell apart. I don't know if that's maybe just your screen, but hopefully it's not too much of a problem. But if it is, I can move it to red versus blue. Now both players are even on work account, but now we have Bonneth in a position to set up a contain on his opponent. Now where there's Reavers concerned, that's not a big deal, but Favorite has to buy time. He cannot break up his ramp. Where's he going? You cannot go up the ramp right now. That's actually just given Bonneth away into his main. Now, do we have any tech coming up? We do have the Observer, so Bonneth is not going to get caught off guard by a Templar, which we know he's not going for, but it's going to be a Reaver. It's not the end of the world. Bonneth is going to try and expand here onto his high ground, but that's obviously a few less Dragoons that he can have. And this is going to give Favorite a chance to get a Reaver, and a Reaver is the great equalizer in PvP, especially when you're going from these low ground to high ground situations. It's very hard for the Dragoons to be able to break down the ramp, which means the Reaver has a little bit of an advantage, at least defensive-wise. Now it looks like Bonneth is starting to go ahead in the probe count, but this is because Favorite has skipped probes for now, knowing the fact he can't expand anytime soon. We've got the Observer on the low ground, which is going to see the fact there's a Reaver coming in. Now Favorite is building up a relatively good army. It is 3 gateways against 2. So if he can overpower Bonneth at the top of his ramp with the Reaver, he's not in a terrible spot, because expanding in PvP can be a little bit of a kind of a handicap on yourself, because you're spending a lot of money on things that aren't units, on things that can't kill Reavers as well. And the fact is, Bonneth's Reaver is a much later than Favorite's, which means it's not going to be at the front to help reinforce this. Now, this is the moment. Oh, he gets the Observer as well. That's a very nice pick off by Favorite, not taking a huge amount of damage on this Dragoon either. And with no Observer, he cannot see the Reaver coming up the ramp. But he needs the shuttle. He needs the shuttle here to bring the Reaver away from the ramp, because all Bonneth's going to do is going to run in. The Zealot's getting in the way of the Reaver. The Reaver's going to go down. Oh, that was such a misplay there by Favorite, and that may have just won Bonneth the game. And I just killed my voice with that. But without the shuttle, that was never going to work. He may have got one Scarab off, but then he was going to lose the Reaver. That is the problem. And that is one of the reasons why Bonneth is so good. He knew all he had to do was kill that Reaver. Now, there's a ton of units here for Favorite. They're stuck on the low ground against the high ground due to the wall made by Bonneth. And now there's a Reaver on the high ground, and this is when things go from bad to worse, because you cannot break a Reaver on the high ground with no Reaver. Bonneth is going to get further and further ahead. I mean, we do have a ton of units here for Favorite, but how do you ever deal with this Reaver? Bonneth has the shuttle there, so he can retreat it as soon as he needs to. That was a nice pullback at the very least, but is taking a lot of damage regardless. The game is not over just yet. There is still a chance here for Favorite, but he needs to have the most perfect engagements in the world. He needs a second Reaver, he needs a third Reaver, and he needs to break his way up. Okay, the Reaver coming in. This Reaver is never going to be able to shoot the other Reaver as long as Bonneth is paying attention. Oh, he gets the... Oh, man. Oh, wow. He actually keeps the Reaver from taking any damage. But he loses the high ground vision. Now, why is he going in with the Reaver first again? You don't want to do that. Now, looks like the Zealot's going to come up here. Shooting at the Reaver rather than the Dragoons means the Reaver is going to get away without taking any damage. But he is still in a position where he can pick up the Reaver. He needs to pick up the Reaver. Okay, that's a really weird Scarab, but we take those. Looks like we are going to have Favorite trying to break up here. He's trying to focus down the shuttle, but it feels like it would have been better to focus the Reaver down. Now, he's got enough units to break this. The shuttle on the low ground saves the Reaver, but his Scarab can't get up. His Dragoon on the high ground, bugging out the Scarab. He does have a position now where he can get into his natural, which is very, very important. And that worked perfectly for Favourite at the end of the day, because finally he's going to be in a position to expand. But Bonneth is getting so far ahead. He's up 6 workers, now 5. He's going in for 2 additional gateways, putting up to 6. And Favourite is going to have to spend a load of money expanding. Okay, Favourite's still behind here, but Bonneth is not in the position he once was. There is 2 Reavers though. Oh my god, if he gets the... Oh, if he'd have got the shuttle there, that could have been like even game, but it's 2 Reavers against 2 Reavers. The first Reaver gets off on the other Reaver. This is going to be such a weird engagement. Oh, he loses one of his Reavers. He loses the other Reaver as well. I think this is it. Bonneth with this move has just won the finals for Seoul. We're still going to see game number 6, but well played by Bonneth, showing why he's the strongest foreign Protoss player. Favourite tried valiantly, but it wasn't enough. Seoul are going to take the series 4-1 at the very least. Are we going to see 4-2, or is this going to be a 5-1 finish? We'll find out when we get back after this very short break.
I am the Scatman. Para pa pi pa pa para pum. Pa pa para pum. Para pi pa pa para pum. Pa pa para pum. Para pi pa pa para pum. I am the Scatman. Scooby dooby dooby pa. Scooby dooby dooby pa. Scooby dooby dooby pa. I am the Scatman.
Okay, so Seoul won the series 4-1, but we're going to see game number 6 anyway. It's Seoul's Zealot, who is a very good Zerg player fighting from South Korea. He's got an 80% win rate, but only over 5 games. And he is going to be up against the Miracle Toss here in DeWalt. DeWalt, one of the best players in the STPL overall in the rankings. He's played and won against some incredibly good Zerg players, and he's got a 68% win rate over 19 games, which is very, very impressive. Should be very, very cool. Looking forward to it. Let's have a look at the map they're going to be going into. It's going to be our final look at Hitchhiker in this season of the STPL. Our final game of STPL Season 3, or Season 3 as well. We're unfortunately not going to get an ace match this time, but the series was exciting nevertheless. I'll go through that a little bit after this final game. But basically, Hitchhiker is incredible. Looking forward to being able to watch it. ZVP on this map is definitely interesting. We've had 4 of them so far, with it going 2-2. Let's get in to game number 6. Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand corner in the teal fighting for IRK. It's going to be DeWalt, the Miracle Toss. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right-hand corner in the orange, fighting for Soul, is going to be Zealot from South Korea. So Seoul have, of course, won the grand finals. They will be going home with the bigger share of the prize money, but IRK made this a very close series. Some of the games could have gone either way. There was only really one super one-sided game in this series, and that was Vodi versus Hero. Every other one was close, and it's more than I could ask for. Thank you, Devlin, for the raid. Sorry for not voting in the Mario Maker contest. I completely forgot due to the heat wave, and then I ran out of time today. My bad, I didn't want to vote without actually playing the levels, so I'll play the levels afterwards. Yeah, dead to me. I know. Sorry, man. The heat wave just killed me. Like, I've just not had a good week. But either way, this series, as I was mentioning just now, it could have gone either way. Seoul definitely statistically on paper were the ones that were kind of expected to win. And I think if people see the score ended up 5-1 or 4-2, I think people might be surprised if it's 4-2, but if it's 5-1, I think people think, oh, Seoul just dominating again. But then they'll completely ignore the contents of the matches, which are actually really close. So I'm hoping we'll see that. DeWalt going for a one base play here. It looks like my hay fever is starting up. It's hit that time of the day where my eye is starting to itch like crazy. I did take some hay fever medication before this, but that's how it goes. Just want to say a big thank you to all you guys who have tuned in for the finals. Hopefully you've enjoyed them. Now Zealot also going for a 12 hatch here into a 12 pull. Kind of standard for this map, I would say. Going in for a third hatchery very, very quickly though. Now, there's a reason why I call DeWalt the Miracle Toss, and that's because he goes up against some incredibly good opponents. He beat Shine in a like a 11 hatch, sorry, like a 25-minute PvZ on La Mancha against Shine. I said Shine already, but DeWalt moving in with his first Zealot and his probe. Does need to wait for some more reinforcements though. Zealot definitely a player who's not going to drone up right away. Always does like to get an early amount of Zerglings, especially on this map. Does finally scout the fact it is a 2 gateway play, so is going to have to worry about a few more. Yeah, saying hatch before pool never goes wrong. That's a good idea, Lucky Noob. Thank you. This is why I made you a mod, man. You know what you're talking about. Now DeWalt getting into a position to try and defend against these lings. The probe in the back going to be helping out, being able to shoot from over the top of the Zealot because probes are broken. Looks like this is a very, very good trade so far, at least, well, it was until all of a sudden all of the units died. Another Zealot going to try and Rambo his way into the main base. Definitely not what you want to have happening as DeWalt. You need the amount to go up. And I think this poor Zealot is probably going to go down. When I say Zealot, I mean the unit the Zealot rather than the player Zealot. It really isn't fair that he picked this as his name. It makes it very hard to cast. Thank you. Thank you, Zealot, for picking the name Zealot and playing Zerg instead of Protoss. Like, what are you doing, man? I guess I could always say Zealot like Artosis does, or at least I swear Artosis used to call them Zealots. Am I misremembering that? Like, I seem to remember that being a thing. Like, someone definitely said Zealots. Maybe I should say that to refer to the unit. Well, apparently he still does sometimes. I've always called it a Zealot because that's how you read the word. Now looks like Zealot the player is going to go around the top side to try and go into the back of his opponent's main. DeWalt still kind of going for this all-in play here. He's going for a Robo, which will be in for a Reaver. Now there still isn't that much defense back at home for Zealot. He's going into Hydras though. And that's when things are going to start to get a little bit more difficult for DeWalt here. He's not saving up to go for any form of expansion just yet. He can't really afford to, just in terms of time. By the time he gets his expansion, Zealot is going to be droned up to an insane amount, and he is going to be dealing with more Hydralisks than he can possibly deal with on just his one base. Now the probe does scout the Hydras. As long as we have this Reaver come in, that should help out against the Hydralisks, and he may still be able to break the bases, but DeWalt is going to be stuck on one base for the time being. And as I've said before, DeWalt is the miracle toss. Like, if someone can make a miracle happen here, it's going to be him. The shuttle does not get scouted, so these Zealots are going to be able to go into the third base completely undetected. But we're going to have to see DeWalt holding on to his main, because there is a ton of Hydras, a ton of Lings coming around the top-hand side of the map here. Now, the drones have been pulled away, so he did notice the fact that there was a Zealot drop. He must have seen it just appear on his minimap. Now, the Zealots aren't actually doing anything right now, and that's actually a big problem, because he needs those Zealots in his main army. Oh no, he's not gonna... Oh, he can't go with his Reaver. He can't go with his Reaver right now. If he leaves his base right now, he loses the game. I think he's just lost. He's got no way of defending his high ground anymore. Okay, it looks like he is going to try and pull back. He picks up his units. The Hydra is going to come in at a very good angle. I think this could be the end of the game here, because I don't see how Zealot is going to lose this engagement. The Reaver, the shield battery on the Reaver coming in clutch here, keeping it alive a lot longer than maybe it could be, but he's not going to pick up the Reaver. He's still got shield battery energy. This is actually very, very important. Zealot doesn't actually have that many drones, and DeWalt does manage to hold on to his main, and he's got two Reavers now. Two Reavers are going to be very, very hard for Zealot to be able to deal with. And now he doesn't have an army either that can really push. He's got a lot of Hydras, but they can't push against two Reavers here. But DeWalt is still on one base. Let's not get it twisted. Things are still looking bad for our Russian hero here for IRK. Zealots attacking the hatchery, which they should have been doing, or should have been done a very long time ago, but unfortunately that's just not the way it happened. But that was very, very good control by DeWalt to be able to do that. He's going to keep some of the units, but oh no, he's pushing through the middle, and there's so many Hydras coming to his main. Oh no! Oh, I think this could be the end of the game. Looks like a probe is finally going out to scout, but it's too late. This is all in. DeWalt has to kill Zealot with this move. He is going to lose all of his bases, all of his units, and all of his probes. He has to make this work, and there's just too much. Loses both Reavers. That's going to be game over. That is the end. Seoul are going to take a 5-1 victory over IRK, but they sure as hell made it close. Looks like another Reaver comes out. Oh my god, the shot or the scarab on those Hydras. There we go. GG. DeWalt taps out Zealot. Takes game number 6. And Seoul win the series, 5-1. Okay, so that is the end of the series. Unfortunately, DeWalt left his base too early. He had an incredible, basically mini victory by holding on with just that one Reaver and the shield battery, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough. He tried to push too quickly. The threat of units coming from behind was too high, and it happened. So that's how it goes sometimes. Let's have a look at the results, then I'll have a quick chat with you about what Season 4 is, when Season 4 is coming, and what else is coming up as well. So let's have a look at the results here. Looks like we are going to have we saw Noob take down Oya. That was a very, very close PvP. That could have gone either way. Hero taking down Body, that was definitely the one-sided game of the series. I don't think any of the other games were one-sided whatsoever. We had Shine take down True Touch. That could have been very close, but unfortunately, True Touch got himself trapped going all in against someone who went for a very quick third hatchery in a ZVZ, which is something you'd never normally see. But that is the big bag of builds. That is the man who does that kind of play. Kamiza kept the dream alive by taking down Scan in game number 4. But unfortunately, Favorite fell to Bonith, which is what won sold the finals. Bonith played incredibly well in that PvP. Favorite tried his best, but unfortunately, he just got out-microed. And when we look at the other 2 final games as well, looks like I actually forgot to add the win for DeWalt, for Zealot even, so let's quickly add that. Let's add the win for Soul Gaming as well, so I don't forget. And just overall, I think it was a really good series. We had a lot of very close games. We had a lot of really nice micro from all the players. And there's a lot to look back at this series with really, really fun. Like, I'm going to have fond memories of this series, because even though it was Soul versus IRK, and I think a lot of people just thought, well, it's going to be 6-0. IRK have no chance. In multiple games there, they had absolutely a chance to win. We could have had an ace match there. True Touch versus Shine and Oya versus Noob were incredibly close games. No one would have ever expected Kamizerg to be able to take down Scan either. Like, they were some very, very good games. So hopefully people don't look at the score afterwards if they miss the series and think, well, IRK got owned, they never had a chance. Because they did. They did have a chance, and they damn well near took it. They prepared very well for this series. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for them on the day, but we had some incredibly good games from it. Season 3 in general has been really, really fun in terms of games. I have a lot of some of my favorite games in the STPL are from Season 3. A massive shout out, of course, to our sponsors, Matcherino, Liquipedia, and the Esport Fund, as well as the people who have supported on Patreon, as well as the people who have supported on Matcherino as well, with some incredible donations. Our prize pool is $2,005 overall, as soon as we get the $500 given over by Liquipedia, because that was the way they did Season 2 as well. Season 4 is coming. It's probably going to be at the end of September or early October. I may push it back just a little bit to avoid that problem we always have with the time zone changing in the middle of everything. But in between, we did have the STPL map contest. Now, the finalists are all going to have individual tournaments played on them. And essentially, it's going to be fun. Like, looking at some of the maps, like, I can't bring them up on stream, I should have prepared this, but basically we've got Mellow with Desert Dweller. Looks like a very fun 2-player map. Quite a big 2-player map as well, given the size. Gosomi came in with Paradise, which looks really fun, which is 2-player. Mellow again with Charmander. He's doing some updates to that at the moment. We've got Gosomi again with Tears of the Goddess, which is a very standard 4-player map. Looks very similar to Luna and Azalea, I think it was called back in the day. And then we have Ducado with Gates of Memphis. That was one of the experimental maps that got chosen. Mellow again with Blindside even, a very, very fun whiteout style map, which is 2-player as well. And then Gosomi with Rosen Bridge, which is a 4-player kind of split map. Some island, some not. Looks like it's going to be fun. We're going to have individual tournaments on that one. On all of them, should I say. So they'll be coming up over the next like 6 to 8 weeks. I've had to increase the sort of time in between just because we need a little bit of time extra for the creators, and Freakling is also incredibly busy, so he can't do as much mentoring as he wants to at the moment, but we are going to get there. I'll introduce the map tournaments when we come to them. Now, if your team is interested in signing up to the STPL for Season 4, I'm going to be making a sign-up thread over the next 2 weeks. We're going to have the teams We're going to have the teams, hopefully, from Season 3 back again. I think a couple may drop out. I think a couple from previous seasons are going to be coming back as well. So Season 4 should have a fantastic lineup. Esports Fund is going to be... Esport Fund is going to be contributing $1,000 to Season 4, so we'll start with $1,000 as our prize pool. If you're interested in sponsoring or know anyone who's interested in sponsoring, please get them in contact with me through Discord. The link to the STPL Discord is all over the place, but I think, if I can remember my Moobot commands, it's there as well. So you can join that, you can talk about anything STPL related. One shout out I really want to give, because I can't thank him enough for the amount of help he's given me, is actually Lucky Noob, because Lucky Noob in this in this season has made 1 million different cheerfuls. I know I didn't use any of them today, but he's just been doing a lot. He's become a mod on the stream as well, because he's always watching, he's always cheering for the Zerg players, because that's what he does. And just overall, I mean, thank you all for watching, because if you guys didn't watch, there wouldn't really be too much point in actually running the tournament. So thank you once again, everyone. Have a very good month's break from STPL. I think it's probably going to be about a month's break before I stream again. Maybe not. Maybe I'll do some ladder streams or something, but I've not actually played Brood War in a very long time. Because essentially, it's not that I don't love Brood War. I love Brood War too much, and it just means I essentially get very angry when I lose, and I don't have the energy for that. Like, I can't do it. A VR chat is so much easier. I get to chat with people. I've spent the last like 4 months or so speaking to Japanese with people every night, so my Japanese has got a lot better. And just overall, I've been having a lot of fun making friends. So thank you once again for tuning in. Thank you for supporting the STPL once again. Thank you to our sponsors, Matrino, Liquipedia, Esport Fund, and the people on Patreon. And I'll see you guys next season. Have a very good time. And don't forget to tune in to BSL 10, which I think is coming up soon. And BWCL is also like going on at the moment as well. So see you guys then. Have a very good time and have a good rest of your August.